Hi guys, welcome back to our next episode. We are currently at week 13 of our Reno, where almost everything has been completed except for some finishing touches and rectification works. This week we have our curtains and ZIpblind installation scheduled and we will be sharing all about it. Firstly, do note that you should try to schedule this when all works or at least most of the works have been completed so that the curtains would not get dirty. In fact, the exact words the salesperson told us was to get it scheduled just one day before moving in. But we didn't want to postpone this further as we have already done so once, so we just went ahead even though we still have some minor works not completed. Here is a look at the ZIpblind material. This is the Magna Zip from MC2. We are not sponsored by the way. We shortlisted them by doing our own research and eventually went with them after comparing the quality, price and service with another store we visited. The Magna Zip is guaranteed to have no creases, wrinkles or smiley face as they call it. It also blocks out glare, rain and strong winds. Of course, rainwater might still seep through during heavy rains. We have personally tested it out once during a heavy rain and so far so good. They also have a few colour selections for the blind and the frames. We had a hard time deciding between light grey or dark grey. We thought light grey would match our balcony railings better, but dark grey would be less dirty over time. We eventually went with the dark grey and no regrets as we found the dark colour to look classier when we viewed our balcony from the park downstairs. For anyone that's interested, this is the ash colour. We also topped up to get their smart hub for $200+ to allow us to control the zip blinds using a phone app. This allows us to open or close the blinds with a touch of a button no matter where we are. This makes it convenient to close the blinds if you are not at home. Without the smart hub, you can only control it manually via the remote control. Since our price is at a discounted rate, we decided to just top up for it together instead of adding on later. But to be very honest, so far we have seldom used the app as we tend to keep the blinds down most of the time, except when we are at home and would like some air circulation or to make our living room brighter. We also really like the anti-glare function of the ZIpblind. Our unit faces northeast and the morning sun can be really bright and hot. But with the zip blinds down, our living room area instantly becomes less bright and not as hot. It's also perfect if you want to enjoy a movie at night. Anyway, side note, always ensure that the workers wear their safety harness when doing works at an elevated height due to the risk involved. The installation is almost completed and here is how it looks. We have two panels, a smaller left side panel and a bigger main panel. We can control them separately or all together. For privacy purposes, we tend to keep the left side panel closed as the neighbour above us can easily look into our balcony. Although they claim that this zip line preserves cool air in your space, but we realized that there's still an overflow hole plus the drainage hole at the balcony. Thus, a significant amount of cool air will still be lost. Moving on to the curtains, we also got them from the same place as they gave us a bundle rate if we are getting their zip blinds. Here is the installer drilling the tracks. It took about 2 to 3 hours for everything to be completed, which was longer than what we expected. We went with pleated curtains for the whole house, although we did consider ripple faux for the living room, but we didn't get it due to reasons like the higher cost, larger clearance space, and the maintenance. Our curtain prices comes with memory shaping, plus we have a false ceiling pelmet which covers the pleat anyway. For the living room, we have 2 areas, one at the balcony and another window behind from the first bedroom that was hacked. For both areas, we went with just a day curtain. The one at the balcony opens up in the middle to allow us to easily access the balcony door, while the other one at the window behind only opens from one side, so the curtain can be aligned with the wall when it is not drawn, as you can see here. We really like the soft flowy look of the day curtains, which matches our creamy theme really well. One small regret is that with the zip blind down, it actually blocks out way more sunlight and glare than the curtains. Therefore, we also don't really draw the curtains at the balcony side, so there might not even be a need to install curtains there in the first place, which could save us some cost. Anyway, you can tell the obvious difference just by looking at this clip. For both the master and study room, we went with just night curtains. It was the right choice to install night curtain in the study room, as the glare that comes in during the day is really strong and would affect both of us no matter where our desk position is. You will see this in our upcoming home tour video. The study room could also be converted into a kids room in future, therefore we wanted to install night curtain to future-proof as well. We had a hard time deciding on the fabric colour and eventually chose a slight shiny silverish grey colour. I was worried it wouldn't match our creamy theme initially, but thank God everything worked out and it actually balances out the creamy tones in our bedroom with its grey undertones. It looks even better under our warm lights. This is how it looks when it's not drawn in the day, and here is our ceiling mattress when it was still wrapped up. And we are also back to provide some updates on the Dyson Purifier as promised in the last video. We actually turned it on 24/7 since then, and I must say, we no longer feel the stinging teary feeling in our eyes when we step into the house, which makes it so much more comfortable. The formaldehyde levels are not in the green zone yet, but at least it was being maintained in the yellow zone, as you can see here. We kept it at a max level 10 for the time being, but you can also change it from level 1 to 10 or an auto mode if you do not require such intense effect. And plus point is that it is also strong enough to work like a fan. Here's a quick look of the study room with the curtains up. We have also fixed our study chairs. And this is our Samsung Disney bezel that we got with our Frame TV promo. In this room, we are using a free purifier from Glow that comes with our Comex Fair Deal for our water dispenser. This is really light and easy to carry around. The plastic covers have also been placed back nicely and painted over. And these are our DIY LAN cables. If you are going the DIY route or pulling an extra cable for your PC, do take into account to leave extra length so that you have more flexibility on where to place your PC. Since the tables would have to be next to the power points, our initial plan was to place both tables around this area, but we also have a few other configurations for us to choose from, although the final decision would have to wait until our tables are delivered and installed. We'll show you how the completed setup looks soon. After we returned from dinner after a heavy rain, we went to inspect if the waterproofing effect really works as they claim, which it did. However, when we tried to open the ZIpblind again, we realized that the main side can no longer be opened even though we have already checked before they left. We immediately contacted them again and they headed back to check on it the following week. Turns out there was a loose wire, but everything has been fixed and is all good now. If you have watched till here, feel free to let us know if you have any questions about our curtain and ZIpblind's configurations or anything else about our Reno. Alright, that's it for this episode. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Bye!